What's up, fam? It's Dr. Shonda. Listen, the social media streets have been in a frenzy since these large companies and corporations that we support have been pulling out of DEI initiatives. Many people across the nation are saying, you know what, I am no longer putting my dollars into these community or these companies anymore, and I'm going to reinvest in my own community. However, there has been mixed reactions with Tabitha Brown's response. So Tabitha is saying that boycotting would hurt her business. Here's a brief recap.
If we all decide to boycott and be like, no, we're not spending no money at these organizations, listen, I get it. And if that's how you feel, honey, I 1000% get it. But so many of us will be affected and our sales will drop. Our business will be hurt. And if any of you know business, it doesn't just happen overnight where you can just go take all your stuff and pull it off the shelves. There's a process, and then you gotta, like, where you gonna put it? You gotta have a place to store it. That's money, right? You gotta have another place to sell it, which is almost impossible sometimes. And even if you sell online, it's a process when it comes to business.
Listen, love tab down, okay? She is the definition of a multi-hyphenate. But this is also an example of the reason why I say that the revolution will not and cannot be led by Black capitalists. The revolution cannot be led by the Black elite, because in these groups of individuals who prioritize monetary gain and who see their success through that lens, their concern is, again, continuing that monetary gain. And that it may be at the expense, or in this case, it is at the expense of the overall community. I'm a firm believer that collective action is powerful. We need to remain collective by nature in order to see communal change. However, that becomes extremely difficult and it's dangerous when we have civil rights leaders who have been doing this work for years, for years and years and decades. I.e. Reverend Al Sharpton, who's telling us to boycott these places. But then you have your favorite influencers, including Miss Tabitha Brown. Again, love her down. Miss Tabitha Brown, as well as a few other people who I deemed as intellectual, but I'm also learning that because someone is an intellect in one area doesn't necessarily mean that they're knowledgeable in issues related to social justice and what that looks like for our community. So I would say a lot of y'all's responses have opened my eyes up to the way y'all think. And it's no knock to anybody, but I'm just saying, like, when it comes to stuff like social justice, like, we need to be listening to our social justice leaders, the ones who have been doing this literally by the sides of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, as opposed to taking the information of our favorite influencers, because this is not their lane. I responded. I made a TikTok video and y'all have been blowing the comments up. And I just wanted to share with y'all a few of my responses. Why are we planning to continue to shop at these corporations who we don't care about y'all? We're rolling back DEI, but we're saying, no, we're going to still shop there, but we're just going to do Black owned. We're only going to shop the Black owned products. Logically thinking, how does this move us forward? How does this move the collective, not individual businesses, but the collective? How do we move? How does that move us forward? At the end of the day, we're still putting dollars in the corporation. Put our personal gain and personal interests aside and think about the collective. 50s and 60s, and somebody sent out a message on the radio and said, y'all do not ride on that bus. Some of y'all would have hopped on that bus and said, oh, I'm gonna just go to the Black owned businesses. I'm just gonna go to the spots that allow colored individuals to sit in the area. I'm gonna go to the areas that are supported. No, if we're not going on the bus, we're not going on the bus. Y'all, are we boycotting Target or not? Because in my last video, I was talking about how difficult it is for us all to get on one accord. And that's the reason why we haven't seen the progress that a lot of us are expecting. And I get it. It's uncomfortable. Your brand is in there. Pockets will be impacted. But like I said in the last video, we have to ask ourselves, are my individual decisions and behaviors impacting the entire community? Is it aligned with our collective agenda? Real revolution to occur, everybody has to sacrifice, beloved. Somebody commented this under my last post and I felt like I needed to share it with y'all. A lot of us need to ask ourselves, am I resistant to boycotting and intentional spending because my self-worth is highly correlated with where I shop? Because it's all marketing. I ain't gonna hold you. These brands do a great job with providing their consumers a sense of belonging, the convenience, feeling valued, even the image of being able to be associated with some of these places. Like, there's deeper meaning behind the joke of why we go to Target versus Walmart. I know a lot of us are joking about it, but I do feel as though our self-worth can be highly enmeshed with where we shop. Making it that much more difficult to financially, emotionally, cognitively divest from supporting these corporations. All right, sis, I wholeheartedly disagree with this perspective, and I am not picking on you. I see this as a theme in the comment section. I just wanted to highlight one of them. You just happen to be the one. So y'all do not come for her in these comments or I will block you. But here's why this perspective won't work. If I did what was right for me, I would be shopping at Target. I would go to the coffee shops. I would do X, Y, or Z because it's convenient, right? It's convenient, and I like Target notebooks. Like, I like the patterns that they have. But going back to the question that I asked you guys in my last video, are my individual behaviors, are my individual initiatives aligned with the collective and what we need as a people? Collectivism is very much rooted in an Afrocentric perspective, whereas individualism is more so rooted in colonialism. Like, I can't say that I care about my brother, my sister, my community, my people as a whole if I am making individual decisions for myself. And that's also why I said everybody sacrifices, beloved. People are going to lose money. People are going to be uncomfortable. People are going to have to find other ways that they can get their products. You may not be able to watch Prime movies. You may not be able to get that next day delivery from Amazon. But how can we pool resources and figure out how we can get our products, our services, our needs met through a Black-owned perspective? And even if it's not Black-owned, how can we support individuals who support us through their DEI initiatives? All right, there we have it. We have Ms. Tab's response and then my responses. So I would love to hear y'all's perspective. If you could put it in the comment section, let me know what you think. And then I might respond via a video. So stay tuned.